In that prayer, our Lord taught us to pray. We say, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." This prayer that Jesus taught us to pray calls for us to adopt a completely different worldview. In this prayer, we are invited to view the world through the kingdom, not the kingdom through the world. During this season of Lent, we are going to explore 6 blessings of God. We will discuss how God calls us to engage and use each of these blessings. We will see how these blessings are not meant to be personal possessions, to be hoarded. Instead, they are meant to be exchanged. They are intended to flow freely in and out and with each other. All of these blessings interact and enable each other. When one of these blessings is blocked, it impacts all of them. When one is freely flowing, it invites all the others. We will be exploring these blessings in relation to the community of faith. However, what we learn and discover can easily be translated into the many other communities in which we live and move and have our being. These blessings of God are essential to the very fabric of community. At the end of this Lenten journey, we will be much more aware of these blessings and how we can ensure that all God's blessings flow. Welcome to the currency of blessing. The fundamental assumption of a cycle of blessing is, first of all, recognizing that God owns everything. When we think about our own personal possession, we think then of scarcity. But when we recognize that God owns everything, we become stewards rather than owners. The other assumption that is a part of this is that God gives abundantly. The world sees things in terms of scarcity, but God gives abundantly. We are not to keep God's resources. We are to circulate these resources. God's blessings are then recycled to create even more blessings. Psalm 24 says this well: "The earth is the Lord's, and all that is in it, the world and those who live in it. For he has founded it on the seas and established it on the rivers." We often think about doing more with more, but actually, it is the ability to do more with less. Proverbs 11:24 says that some give freely, yet grow all the richer, while others withhold what is due and only suffer want. 1 Corinthians shows us that difference between the wisdom of God and the wisdom of the world. For the message about the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and God's weakness is stronger than human strength. So often when we operate from a position of scarcity, we think of holding on to what we have because we believe that that is all there is and there will be no more. But when we view it from the kingdom of heaven, when we view it from God's eyes, we recognize that God always has more to give. And when we do view it from that direction, we begin to share what we have. We begin to look at when others don't have, not about holding on to what we have, but letting it flow. This is an essential part of viewing it from the kingdom of heaven. This is an essential part of allowing God's blessings to flow. Currency, which we so often only think of in terms of money, comes from the medieval Latin word currentia. It literally means a flowing, from the Latin word currere, which means to run or flow. John Locke in 1699 was the first to use it to refer to the circulation of money. Merriam-Webster defines currency as something that is in circulation as a medium of exchange. We are going to be looking at these blessings in the same way that currency has been looked at in terms of money, taking money and exchanging what you do have there for what is of value, exchanging it for what you don't have. The blessings we're going to look at. First, we are going to look at the currency of leadership, gracious leadership. Then we are going to explore the currency of truth. The third week, we will look at the currency of time and place. In week 4, we will explore the currency of wellness. In week 5, we'll look at the currency of relationship. And the last thing that we will explore as we look into Holy Week is the currency of money. In all of these things, we will look at these gifts on how they work to be exchanged and to produce even more blessings. So come and join us as we explore the currencies of blessing.